Hey guys, welcome back to the Community Cares Podcast. I'm Dave. I'm the Executive Director here at Good Shepherd's Clothes Closet.
And I'm Chaplain Chaz Blackburn. I have the honor of being the president of Good Shepherd's Clothes Closet. And today I'm here to talk about a different organization, though, which I'm super excited about.
A different one? What are you talking about? Different?
Oh, me. Oh.
Who are you?
Who am I? I'm
Hi.
Chaplain Chaz Blackburn.
Chaplain Chaz Blackburn. I'm Dave with Good Shepherd.
Nice to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you. It gives me deja vu. Do you remember that video we filmed that was like in the store and I set the lights up and everything? Do you remember that? I'll give a flashback.
I gotta be honest with you, we've done so much.
Flashback. I was thinner back then, but here. This is our first video together. Hi, I'm Dave. I'm the Executive Director here at Good Shepherd's Clothes Closet.
And I'm Chaplain Chaz Blackburn with Circle of Life Community Hospice.
So, Chaz is here today because we wanted to talk more about the event coming up, which we've had a lot of traction here at Good Shepherd. It's great to see people excited and getting ready for the event coming up.
It's going to be from 3 to 6 at the Washoe County Senior Center off of 9th Street. And we're super...
Yeah, that was a long time ago. That was a really long time ago.
Was it a long video?
No, it wasn't.
Oh,
it wasn't long. We were talking about doing clothing for. Was it the sock hop one? It might have been sock hop. I don't know, but it was a while ago, and I set it all up in the store to try to showcase what we do at Good Shepherd and why it's important.
I kind of remember that now that you're saying that. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll don't worry. You'll see it once you watch this episode.
You know, we've been doing this show. I mean, it's an honor, but 2.5 years now, brother.
That's a long time.
That is, and I think it's a testament of there is power in collaboration, and talking about the different resources in the community and educating the community and just having fun and getting to know the faces and the people behind the organizations. It's been a good ride.
We have got to know so many people and had so many conversations on why it's important to do what we do in the community and why everyone else is doing what they do as well. And so it has been a blessing. Thank you for those who listen, who are a part of it. So with that, we're going to get into our sponsorship segment. Do you want to talk about sponsors this time?
No.
Okay. Our first sponsor is Shelley's Hardware. Shelley's Hardware is a local hardware store that really cares about the community, so much so that they sponsor the Community Cares Podcast and also sponsoring Good Shepherd's Clothes Closet with events and all sorts of other things. We have a big event, possibly with them soon.
I really wish I could have met Shelley.
Shelley, yeah.
Shelley's Hardware. I wonder who Shelley was.
I don't know. I think Pat mentioned it a little bit on the episode. But it is interesting, and his dad now owns Shelley's Hardware.
That's pretty cool.
And they're doing a lot of things in the community. They care about people. They really do, down to doing popcorn for their guests that come into Shelley's Hardware. You can get free popcorn. And just buy something though. Don't just go in there just to get popcorn. That's not very nice.
And definitely support local. I mean, if you're going to get something small that you're going to go to Home Depot or Lowe's, I mean, they're right down the street here, and they support back into our local nonprofit community. And so I think it's really important to support local when you can. And they're a great organization. They're a great family, and they're really cool too. Like, they have all the knickknacks we always talk about, and they used to be an airplane hanger, and they have some cool T-shirts, and it's really interesting. Just stop by and check them out.
Well, down the road, if you don't support local, you might get screwed.
Yeah. That was a dad joke. You're talking about bolts and screws? Is that what's going on?
That was for you.
That's pretty good. You didn't even know you did it.
I did.
Oh, okay.
I thought about it.
It was intentional. See? You, my friend, are a dad now.
No.
You're becoming a dad now.
No. Stop it.
Aren't you proud, Rob? Yeah?
No.
What?
I can't do it.
Dude, we're becoming our dads.
Oh.
That's exciting.
It's kind of how it works.
It is. I love coffee. I used to think my dad would enjoy coffee early in the morning before work, and you just see my beautiful face.
We need to see your face. This is a video podcast.
I like to hide.
I know.
So how do they see my face if I were on Spotify?
It was funny. The other day I was talking to our next sponsor, Brian over at Spherion. And he was saying, he's like, oh, you guys have video? I'm like, yeah, it's a video podcast,
dude. I saw this,
and he said, oh, I just listen to it every week on it might be Apple Podcasts. I don't know where he listens, but he listens to it strictly audio.
Do you want to hear something even crazier?
Yeah.
I was on Spotify looking at our podcast, and they had a video option.
Yeah, I know.
Which is not normal. Most don't on there.
Yeah. A lot of... So they introduced it once they purchased or donated. I don't know what you call it. I think purchased... I don't know. Joe Rogan. That's when they added the video option, I think.
That's cool, though. I mean, it's exciting.
Yeah, and so I've been uploading video ever since we started the podcast.
Wow.
So, and it's nice too, because then it also uploads to all the other RSS feeds, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, all of them. But yeah, we're here today, and Spherion is a Northern Nevada job market recruitment office. They connect qualified candidates with leading companies, ensuring the right fit every time. Whether you need administrative support, light industrial staff, or professional hires, Spherion takes the stress out of staffing.
I think these people are amazing that they sponsor a local nonprofit.
It's pretty great. And Brian does a great job. I met with him a few weeks ago, and we just had a great conversation, and he appreciates what we do at Good Shepherd. So it's nice to have people that care about what we do and why, and how we're able to continue to help those in need every single week in and week out. So Chaz, who I don't know.
Dave, who I do know. I think.
You think? Do you know me?
I don't know.
So
Have you been faking all these years?
You're with another organization. Mm-hmm. What is that other organization we're going to be talking about today?
I'm with a few, but the one I'm going to talk about today is really near and dear to my heart. And so I want to give a disclaimer. We're going to talk about some really hard things. And so if you're bothered by suicide or bothered by losses or grief, just know that we're here for you, and you can always reach out and we can give you resources and support. I want you to know that you're not alone, but also just want to give you a trigger warning that we're going to have some tough conversations. But this is a dream come true. The president of the Circle Life Hospice Foundation, Michelle, and I have worked really hard to open up this new project. So for those who don't know, the foundation completely separate from Circle Life Hospice, and I want to make that really clear. Circle Life Hospice is a for-profit hospice that provides care and has since 1999 some of the best care where they put patients over profits. But we also have a nonprofit that was founded in 2002.
So it's a separate entity.
Completely separate entity, a separate board of directors, completely governed on its own. And so it is not the one in the same. Now, it's all the Circle family in the sense that we all have the same missions, but it is a separate entity. And I want to make that clear because some people are hesitant to work with a business per se, right, whereas everybody typically will work with a nonprofit. And so this amazing nonprofit started out in 2002, and then about, I want to say 2022, we had a patient that we had to take, Michelle took home to die because he had nowhere to die with dignity. And she actually took him home. He was a part of our family. His name was James. Long story short, he had spent, I think, 24 years in prison because he had killed the man that had kidnapped his 11-year-old daughter, Misty, dismembered her after torturing her, and he ended up finding him and killing him, even though the person had been apprehended by law enforcement. And so I say that because this man was a regular person. And so he came out of jail after saying, I don't know if I can forgive this man that killed my daughter, even though I killed him, but I'm going to try. And a month later, he was released for liver cancer, actually. So fast forward, about 18 months, he was on and off hospice and ended up in a trap house where they were stealing his medications and stealing his belongings. And finally, Michelle said, Chaz, go get him, bring him to my house. And so she took care of him for 4 days at home. And we all surrounded him as he took his last breath. And so later that year, we said, actually, the day after he died, or the Monday after he had passed, and Michelle came back into the office and we talked about it, and we decided, when are we going to stop talking about doing the hospice guest house, because it's such a critical need in the community. There's so many people that don't know that they're going to need 24/7 caregiving, or can't afford a facility or a group home, and are going to need that hospice guest house. It costs nothing. We charge nothing to those that we serve or the families. And so Medicare doesn't cover any caregiving. That's a huge myth. People think, I'll just have caregiving through Medicare. No, if you don't have a family member or the financial resources, and even if you have the financial resources, when you decline quickly to get placed, sometimes you can't even find a place. So long story short, we put together an amazing, amazing board of directors, including Lou, who you accused me of not having real friends. But no, he was a good guy. He's with Make-A-Wish Foundation and a bunch of other organizations. But we put together this amazing board, and this included Wendy Simmons as a board advisor, who was the head of HHS for Nevada, Colony McLaughlin, Dr. Larry Weiss, who donated the hospice guest house and the land out back, and Andrea Pelto, and just Dr. Barry Frank, who ran the PICU at Washoe Med Center back before it was renowned for a long time. All these amazing board members, and we created a concept and took it to the state, and they approved it because of the way that we were able to get all the mechanisms in place. Well, another pillar of our foundation has always been bereavement and grief support. There's a huge need. When we look at youth suicides in Washoe County, they're very high, some of the highest in the nation. I think we've made a lot of progress in different areas, but one of the things that we do not give enough focus to specifically is trauma, which we're getting better at, but even more or less is grief. There's stigmas, and we don't address loss. Everybody is grieving in one way or another. We all have losses. It may be loss of our parents divorcing, and loss of our home. It could be loss of an animal, a pet that loves us unconditionally. It could be loss of a family member or a loved one. But there's so much loss that stems from loss. Addictions. Some of the biggest roots, I think, are undealt with loss. And we look at school shootings. A lot of those school shooters had undealt with loss. And I'm not saying that teaching people how to grieve, and there's no right or wrong way as long as it's not destructive, but giving people support and those mechanisms is going to solve everything and stop every suicide. That's just not the case. It's not reality.
No, it's not.
No, it's not. Right. But if we create more of these resources, lives will be saved. Straight and point blank. And so an opportunity for Northern Nevada is to have a bunch of specialized grief support groups for every kind of demographic you could think of. And so for, I want to say 4 or 5 years, it's been a dream of Michelle and I to open up a grief center.
Well, so 4 or 5 years. So how did this kind of percolate? Like, what was the initial conversation?
Well, I think the biggest one was we have a great resource in the community called Solace Tree. It's for children and teens who are grieving, but that's it. That's all we have, really. And so, I still serve on the Suicide Prevention Awareness Task Force with the state of Nevada. Home Means Nevada kind of runs it now. But one thing through the Great Basin Chaplain Corps is I'd be responding, or my teams would be responding. And so for those who don't know, the Great Basin Chaplain Corps, I'm the Assistant Corps Commander, and we have about 70 licensed chaplains that serve 8 hospitals, law enforcement, fire, EMS, and a bunch of different fields and demographics. And so we would be responding to these children or these teenagers' suicides and their families, and it would rip me apart. In fact, previously we had Emilio Vaca on, who runs Young Life, and he had talked about we'd gotten together and said, how can we stop some of this youth suicide?
Yeah, if you haven't listened to the episode, I'd highly recommend it. It was a good episode talking about some of the highlights in our community on how maybe we can help those who are really struggling.
Yeah. And so, one thing I wanted to make clear is I think what really started this was some of those horrific losses. And even through our grief support groups that Circle Life Hospice does, 80% of the participants that come to those grief support groups didn't lose someone on Circle Life Hospice.
Really?
80% or more
Wow.
are typically from the community. And so why is that, right? And we're realizing there's a lack of grief support resources.
Do you guys have a group for hostile work environments?
We could start one. Would you like to help lead that? I would love that. Are you committing once a month?
I'm just saying. There's moments in my work environment that could be hostile.
I agree, and I don't even get paid for a Good Shepherd's Clothes Closet.
Oh boy! I'm teasing.
No, but seriously, I know you've lost loved ones, friends. You lost a good friend that was a volunteer here at Good Shepherd's Clothes Closet. He was a veteran. He completed suicide, unfortunately. When we have a loss, nobody truly understands exactly what we go through. However, we're all on this journey of grief when we lose somebody, and we all can relate in certain ways. But especially when we have specialized demographical grief support groups like suicide survivors or forgotten mourners, which means siblings. People don't realize when a family and a child dies in a family and there's brothers and sisters involved, that the brothers and sisters will watch the parents grieve and sometimes feel like their parents don't love them as much and forget about their grief of losing their sibling. Groups such as parents who've lost children. There's a great grief support group here called Compassionate Parents or Compassionate Friends for parents who've lost children. But there's only like one of each niche, if anything. Grief support groups like murder victims. So family members who've lost loved ones who were murdered, right?
Is it niche or niche?
I don't know.
I thought it was niche.
Well, I don't know.
Is it? Is it niche or niche? I don't know, Chaz.
Tell us.
What's the reality? Please tell us.
But the reality is that when we're grieving, if we can have a support system around us, it makes it so much better.
Absolutely.
It's never going to get easier. I hate to tell you, we will get stronger through our grief journey. There's closure of chapters, but there's never truly closure because we always missed our loved ones.
Yeah, and I mean, if you were living your life thinking that death doesn't affect you and that loss isn't a real thing,
or just loss in general, it might not even be death, right?
And it is real though.
Yeah,
like darkness is real in this world, and it is gritty, it is gross, it is challenging, and so to understand that. There are so many people in my life I'm thinking of. I'm not going to mention their names or anything, but they live their life as if loss and death is not real. Mm-hmm. They just do, and I think that's ignorant to live your life that way. To not live in a way that you understand that you will die. We all die. And so I hate, and this might get, blocked on some social media accounts because I'm talking about death. But the reality is, it gets blocked on social media accounts because death is such a scary thing.
It's a stigma too, yeah.
Isn't that wild to think about? Like us talking about death right now, even though everyone experiences it, everyone experiences death.
Grief is another one.
Might be taken down.
Suicide, another one.
This reel right now that we're creating, this podcast, pieces of it might be silenced because it is so scary. Mm-hmm. But what does that tell you? It's really important.
It really is.
Because everyone goes through it. Everyone.
Yes. Yeah.
And so
none of us are getting out of this alive. I was like
I was listening to a podcast the other day about, and I think I talked about it on another show. I can't remember. It was about transhumanists. And the idea that there are humans that believe their goal in life is to be forever living. Whether that's transporting their brain into like a jar and hooked up to a computer, or whether it's putting a chip in you and all sorts of things. It's a pretty crazy niche or niche. And to think that people are so afraid of death that they are willing to believe that ideology, which the reality is that's not a reality. Yeah. It's not a reality right now. That's not real. So I'm glad people are trying to be futurists and think about how we can extend life and heal disease and do all these things. I think that's beautiful, and I think we should definitely continue that. But to have the mindset that us as humans are going to be forever in these bodies, it's just not a reality.
Right.
It's just not. And so to be able to work through some of these issues like you guys are trying to over at Circle of Life Hospice Foundation, to be able to go through and have these groups or these niche groups or niche groups where we're able to help people work through things so then they can live their lives to the fullest.
Amen. And it's not one size fits all, right?
No.
It's not. Therapists are great, but that's not the only solution. Chaplains are great. It's not the only solution.
Right.
Grief support groups are great. It's not the only solution. But a lot of times a combination of all of them working together, specific to each individual, that's where we see a lot of progress and support.
And people don't know that though.
Right.
So like everyone doesn't understand that like, hey, you're a dude, you lost your wife. It's okay to go to a grief support group. It's okay to go to a therapist. It's okay to call Chaplain Chaz to come and hang out. Yeah. It's okay to do these things because we're all human beings and we all experience loss because this world is dark and scary and gritty. Mm-hmm. And we as human beings need to be okay with that and accept that. And I feel like there's like this delusion in our American idolized culture where we just kind of forget that.
Well,
we just pretend like it's not real.
We feel it's a stigma, so we feel like if we talk about it, it's going to happen quicker.
Right.
It's just like with suicide.
Knock on wood, right?
But ironically, if you talk about death, you're going to live the rest of your life, whatever time that may be, to a higher quality. Because we have a death cafe. It's a giant tea party where we talk about death. And I know that sounds morbid, but it's actually a lot of fun. And it's what's wild is it just gets the elephant out of the room. And you talk about all these different perspectives of culture and different things like, is it okay to laugh when a loved one's dying and make jokes about the good times? No, seriously, though.
Yeah. I know.
But hold on. The same thing with suicide, though. For example, talking about it is not going to make it happen more likely to happen. Actually, it can save lives, especially when we talk about it with our children in the appropriate manner, because our children have to be educated on grief responses, trauma responses. And so it is critical that we bring awareness and break those stigmas.
Yeah. First off, I want to ask, was there an actual elephant in the room?
So we thought about having like stuffed animal elephants.
You know, Mark Teachout, one of our supporters, he has a whole wall of elephants in his house, and he's trying to get rid of them.
Really?
So he. This is a funny story. He used to own a financial planning agency, and all these people were so thankful that he did that or whatever, and they saw some elephants on one of his shelves, and then he's like, they're all like, "Oh, you like elephants?" He's like, "Well, no, I mean, it's fine." And so what do?
They bought him elephants.
They bought him elephants.
That's awesome.
So now he has a ton of elephants, some in his like office area, and then he has some out in his like he calls it the barn area.
Yeah.
But he has a lot of elephants.
Just where he made this beautiful podcast table.
Yeah,
Thank you, Mark.
This.
Yeah.
And Nika and I were over there a few months ago, and Nika was all like, "Oh, I really like that elephant." It was Dumbo the elephant, which is a Disney elephant. And she's like, "I really like that." And Mark's all like, "You want it?"
Wow.
And that's then getting that elephant out of the room, huh?
Yeah.
That's what it is.
It really is. And so all this to say, we want to create a resource center, the Circle of Life Grief and Trauma Resource Center. And I'll explain why the certain words are in there in a moment. But having a resource center to combine all the resources, we always talk about collaboration with other nonprofits. We want to do the same thing with resources and collaborate with other nonprofits in this grief center, have them come in and do different support groups. Everything from like special children, families with children who have special needs, a quarterly support group. Things like it's just limitless, but MS support group or a chronic pain support group, all these, everything you can imagine. A female cancer support group will have, that's been going for 20 years, it'll be coming under our umbrella. We'll have a men's cancer support group. For veterans and first responders, we're going to have Reboot Recovery, which is a 12-week program. So every demographic you could imagine, for the most part, we're going to have a grief support group that's going to be tailored. I just met with this 16-year-old, almost 17-year-old, and she's excited. She lost her father, unfortunately, when she was very young a few years ago, and she's never been to a grief support group, and she was asking how she could get involved with the Grief and Trauma Resource Center. I'm like, this is perfect, because we want peer leaders in every single support group who's had one of those losses. So not only does it give back by giving those individuals purpose to help others, but the other people in the groups will learn from those who have been grieving in a similar fashion. And so Dr. Barry Frank gave us a $25,000 donation to get this launched. We actually just signed the lease, and it's going to be an amazing concept and a beautiful, beautiful boardroom that can seat about 20 people. Eventually, we're going to have hybrid equipment, so we can have hybrid meetings, meaning we'll be able to affect those in the rural areas, because there's no resources hardly out there.
Do you need help? Do you need help with the tech side of that?
You know that I'll be calling you, brother, when we get the funding. I know.
You let me know.
But that's going to be critical, because that's going to extend our reach even farther to be able to help reach there. But we're also going to have a special room that's going to be a debrief defusing room. And so myself and some other professionals have become certified through the University of Maryland, Baltimore County Emergency Health Services in something called CISM, which is Critical Incident Stress Management. This is a national model. And so what we've done is, there's a big deficit of people not able to start the grieving process because of trauma. And so something as simple as being able to recognize trauma for what it is, to debrief and defuse the critical loss. When a family loses a child to suicide, that family will do so much better if they can come together and talk about the incident in this specific model, and be able to recognize and start the permission to grieve. Because when our brains are stuck in the traumatic mode, we can't even focus on starting the grieving journey. And so that's where we have some serious issues arise, like addiction and other things like cluster suicides. And so what we've done is we've taken this official CISM model, and we've tailored it with a family crisis response approach and living ideations and some neat crafts and different activities that will practice remembrance to flip it back to the positive. And so this gives us a foundation as a family for them to do it as a family unit with professionals that are certified in this. And then after that defusing or debrief is done, they're much more likely ready for the grief support groups, so they can start that journey. And so this will be a free resource to the community. Not only are all the grief support groups, for the most part, unless it's a workshop that's specific, has a small fee, they're all going to be free to the community. So this is really for the entire community. We have MFTs, marriage and family therapists, that are going to be donating their time to run some of these. We have chaplains, we have clinicians, CPCs, we have MSWs, LCSWs, all these experienced people. What I love about this project is, just like with Good Shepherd's Clothes Closet, this Circle Life Grief and Trauma Resource Center is bringing all these different people in the village and bringing us together to make this happen. And that's so powerful to see, and to have all these professionals come together to make this ongoing a reality. It's going to save lives. We've already done a few defusings, and out of those defusings, there's already been teens who've come forward that they wanted to complete suicide and hurt themselves. But because they were educated on trauma responses and grief responses, they knew something was wrong and they spoke up. And so I believe this process has already saved lives, and I know that it will in the future. And so this will be a safe place where we're going to partner with the Washoe County School District. And I've already talked to executive members both in the district as well as some of the people on the school board. We have the Suicide Prevention Task Force and different organizations are ready to support this. And they've been waiting. And we finally are going to be able to open in March. It will start out slow for children and teens and some of the other groups. But as we grow and we add more and more and more, this is going to be a beautiful facility where you can come and not only get those support groups, get the defusing or debrief with your family, but also you're going to have a plethora of other resources there that you can add in, because we're not going to be the only solution. We have our partners like Solace Tree and like Compassionate Friends and Nevada Donor Network that have some great resources. And so we want to create a buffet of resources for these families that cost nothing, so that nobody is being hindered to be able to get the care they need to live their best lives. Because we want to help families not only survive but thrive. And so many families get stuck in just surviving that they can't thrive. And that's what trauma does when it's undealt with. That's what grief does when you don't build yourself a support system that can truly help you move forward through the process. And so this I'm very passionate about. I can't tell you how many deaths or calls that I've been on where I've just been broken for these families. Like, what can we do? What is something tangible that we can actually do? This is a solution. It will not save everybody, of course, but it is a solution to contribute to the bigger picture, and it will minimize suicide rates. It will make more quality of life for those with horrific losses, and it will make a difference and save lives.
I think that's beautiful. Again, is there like a support group for EDs that are going through challenging situations?
Honestly, I think that what would be cool though? No, seriously.
I'm joking.
I actually have one that I think we could lead. I actually, seriously, a nonprofit leadership support group for each other would be pretty cool.
I won't show up. I'm like, this place is not safe. It's not safe for me. I won't tell you why, but
So the Circle of Life Grief and Trauma Resource Center.
I'm just kidding. This sounds amazing. Thank you for sharing it with our viewers and listeners. I know there are a lot of people who listen that want to be involved with the community. Mm-hmm. And it's so important to have a space that's really safe for people that are grieving and to have those genuine, open conversations. Because it's hard to have those sometimes.
Loss is horrible. Yeah.
I have a family member who lost someone, and then their significant other, I'm trying to be very vague intentionally, in case they're listening to those, and they just said, "Oh, why are you still upset about that?" Instead of allowing that person to grieve and process the situation. Yeah. And unfortunately, and that was that person's significant other. That was their spouse. And it's like, thinking about it, like, wow, your spouse will treat you that way? Mm-hmm. Like, what does that tell you? That person's not allowed to grieve.
Right.
That person's not allowed to process the loss in that situation. And that's kind of sad, and that's scary to think that even spouses that have been together, this couple is very strong. They do a lot of things right. But I saw this and I'm like, that's wrong.
Yeah.
And I'm sometimes convicted of times where maybe I'm not as sensitive to my wife as I should be in those situations.
And sometimes you don't know what to say. Like, there's well-meaning friends and family that will say things like, well, they're in a better place, or, hey, you have more than one child. Right. And they don't mean that bad, but those are horrible things to say.
Those are horrible things.
And though they mean well,
and if you said that, don't feel bad. Yeah, like that's okay.
You probably mean a really good thing, but the point is to be able to surround yourself with people who get it, and for that specific loss, right?
Yes, and to process.
And to process.
The processing piece is so vital.
Outside of the family and outside of your circle of friends, you want a safe place that you can just let it all out and not be judged.
Circle of friends?
Circle of friends? I like it.
I see what you did there.
I didn't do it on purpose, but I'll take it. I'm not going to lie. That was good. But just like our saying, be the change that you want to see in the world. I really believe all the people that are coming around this. I mean, we even have an old CPS director. The professionals that are jumping on board this project, this matters. And we're excited to partner with Good Shepherd's Clothes Closet as we launch our mobile micro closet and are supporting high schoolers with all those resources. Kind of the same concept with Starlink and tablets and resources on the mobile micro closet. We'll be one of those resources for you guys, just like the Chaplain Corps will be. But it's taking resources either to the people to meet them where they're at, like you will with the mobile micro closet or in the rules, or providing a safe space that they can come to, and it be a place that not only has one resources, because maybe this won't work. Maybe the support group you go at the Grief and Trauma Resource Center isn't the right fit. That's okay. We're going to have a bunch of other ones you can try out through all of our partners. And, we always talk about like our nonprofits. our collaboration and people not wanting to work together or it being competitive, that's silly. We need to come together as a community. The more resources, the better. And we need to advocate for each other.
I agree it's silly, but if someone doesn't want to do that, I don't want to work with you.
Yeah.
So, I mean...
But would you stop them from going to that person when they might be helped? The people that are being served?
No,
right,
of course
right.
not. I'll collaborate with whoever, I'll send people who I think can help them the best in whatever situation. Yeah. But if a nonprofit basically says, screw you, I don't want to work with you, okay, you're making your own bed, because those who collaborate and work together are going to be stronger. Yes. That's just the reality.
It is.
And our bigger donors who I talk to about this stuff say that. They say, we like that you're working with people. That's important, to work well and to partner and to grow, which is one of the reasons why the podcast is so important, is because we have so many different nonprofits, so many different leaders, and we're just like, let's have a conversation and talk.
Yeah.
Like, crazy thought. Let's just talk.
Yeah.
Wow. Wild, right?
It's wild. I mean,
even some nonprofits who don't like us, and that's the reality of it. I'm just being real. There are nonprofits who don't like us that have been on this show, and we still highlight them. We still push them. We still want to collaborate, because it is
the right thing to do for those who we serve. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what it's really about.
Yeah, I know I'm getting into the tea a little bit, but that's the reality. Is like,
you just want to make this episode interesting.
There are people who don't like us that have been on the show, because they see the value of being out in the community and being public, which is great. And we'll still highlight them. Yeah. Because we believe in good for the community. That's right. We don't believe in our agendas. And absolutely. Even if other people do believe in their agendas, yes, we believe in helping the individual, not just helping Good Shepherd's Clothes Closet. Of course, we're interested in helping Good Shepherd's Clothes Closet. That's, of course, partially why we do this. Yeah. But the reality is we've highlighted people who don't like us.
Absolutely. And I'm just so excited. This is a historic project. It really is.
For the record, Circle of Life and us are good.
Yeah, he's not talking about...
We are not talking about Circle of Life Hospice Foundation.
We, there's so many kinds of losses, and even the seniors, 1/3 of our population of suicides in Washoe County through the coroner's report is a senior. A lot of that is isolation and them grieving losing loved ones, but also grieving getting older. So we plan on having a senior support group for connection. Yeah, I mean, there's so many different kinds of losses besides just death, but especially death. So I just want to encourage you, if this is something that you're passionate about or you've had a loss, we need volunteers. I can't do all these groups. I'm not going to. The whole idea is to make it self-sustainable and have professionals in each field, or peer-led groups where you've had a specific loss and want to help others. And so you can reach out to me at cblackburn@colhospice.com. That's C Black, BLACK, Burn, BURN, @COL Hospice, HOSPICE.com. And I will tag it in the
Please
post.
do, because when this comes out, I'll be on a cruise. So.
Yes.
If you could tag it, that'd be great.
Absolutely.
I'm out.
You might not be on a cruise yet, though, because it can't come out yet.
No, I will be.
Oh.
Yeah, because you said the first, right?
After the first.
Yeah.
So we'll wait till you get back. Yeah.
The second is when I get back.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
This one will come out the second.
All right.
Second or third.
Waste no time, huh? But
of course I'm wasting no time. We're going to make things happen.
I love it. And just a special thank you to Habitat for Humanity and for you, Dave, for helping move a bunch of furniture out to clear out the leasing space.
Yeah, that's great.
And also, I wanted to just thank the community for really coming behind this. Thank you, Dr. Barry Frank, for making that launching donation. And we do need some donations financially to get some furniture and some different things. The defusing room is going to be so special with a Hawaiian waterfall and big giant mural. We have a really special artist named Vera who's painting this. It's so super awesome.
That's awesome.
So we have artists getting involved. There's going to be water features, all sorts of kind of little different therapies, aromatherapies for those who want it. And it's going to be a really unique, special place.
I'm just going to work out of there.
Before.
That's all. I'm going to set up my
laptop. It's going to be very calming.
I'll be like, here, I'll work here. Sorry, buddy. Get out.
You have to do a support group if you want to do it.
I'll do a support group.
Facilitators do get access.
The Dave support group. Anyone named Dave. We struggle, man.
Yeah.
You know what David translate? I mean, do you know what it means? Dave?
Controlling?
David?
I just gotcha. I'm joking. I love you.
It means beloved by God.
I love that.
It's true.
Well, you are beloved by God. All people are.
David, the Hebrew translation.
I love that.
It's true. Or Aramaic. Hebrew. Yeah. Something like that. I don't know. I'm not a theologian.
Well, thank you guys for having me on. Dave, any kind of final thoughts or questions about this?
My final thought is that this is so vital for the community because we really need more resources where people can grieve effectively. So the reality is most people don't really work through the grieving process. They just kind of like sit in it and then forget about it, which is not healthy all the time because that sometimes that comes up in different ways and stress levels and all sorts of different ways. Yeah.
No, you're right. You're sure not a clinician. Well, you were a pastor, so. But we grieve so much because we love so much. And so grief is just love with no place to go because our loved ones are gone, specifically with death loss. And so we have to let the pressure out of that valve. And so you're right. If we just forget about it and don't lean into it, that builds up and then it explodes at some point in addiction or suicide or into some kind of negative coping mechanism. Yep. And so it is critical that we have people to know that we're not crazy. Other people are going through similar things.
Well, you are, but
we're not alone. Well, we may be crazy, but we're not alone. And we're all crazy then, I guess.
I guess so. We're all crazy here.
Not abnormally crazy if you're grieving. You're just grieving, right? But to be validated and to to know that that there's people that care, right? And then also the other flip side is people ask me, well, how can I better move through my grief? One big thing is paying it into purpose. You have to give back. You have to. It's part of being able to help others, and that's what happens in these support groups is by you sharing and having the courage to share. If you're led to, you don't have to. Other people learn from that. Maybe this does work for you. Like maybe people want to clean out their closet of their loved one's clothes and go donate it to Good Shepherd's Clothes Closet because it's going to a good cause. So donate to them. But maybe not. Maybe you're not going to be ready ever to give those up. Maybe it's all in your timing. It's all specific to you. And maybe you're going to wait a few years. But I just want to encourage the community to really get behind this. And we do need some donations to just finish out this launching mechanism in March. But I know it's going to happen. Our community does amazing when there's a need like this. And this has been a need for a very long time. And it's nothing against the current resources. We just need more options because one size shoe does not fit all.
It doesn't?
No.
You sure?
You want to try my shoes on? My boots?
Yeah. No, I do. Let's do it right now. Do it on air.
Awkward. What the heck is going on here? They're like, this podcast get weird.
It's getting weird. Hey, but that's why people watch us because it gets weird sometimes.
It gets weird most of the time. You know?
Hey, it really matters. This is important for the community. If you're led to donate, please do so and donate at
colhospice.com/foundation or colhospice.com, and you can click on the foundation tab. If you click donate now, there's an option to put in memory of. If you want it specifically for the Grief and Trauma Resource Center, please put in that field in memory of whoever and for the Grief and Trauma Resource Center. That way we know it's designated for that. But you can also mail a check to the address on the website and put Grief Center for the reason. But I just want to encourage you guys, let's get behind this. Let's make it happen. And this is something that's going to affect many, many families.
And to be clear, I know we've said it already, but there is some confusion when I talk about COL with people. The reality is COL, hospice, is a business. Mm-hmm. Circle of Life Hospice Foundation is a separate entity and a foundation that supports the guest house and also has the grief center, correct?
Yeah, we have a few mechanisms.
And it's separate, though. I want to make that very
It's completely
clear.
Separate. I do want to give credit to Circle Life Hospice and Michelle, who's the owner, though. I do, because she's invested 100%. A lot of money into getting this nonprofit up and running to the level that it is. And so, but it is separate, and people need to realize that for the nonprofit side, it's a write-off. And we have 4 pillars, but we've done the hospice guest house. Now we'll have the Grief and Trauma Resource Center. And something else that we do is we have a patient family account. So a lot of people don't think about this, but there are people dying right now, families that have a loved one who cannot even afford to get groceries. Sometimes we buy them groceries so they can have their favorite last meals as a family. Sometimes we have people that fall. We had a gentleman who fell and chipped his tooth and could not enjoy the last moments of his life or the last few months to eat the food he liked. So we paid to have that tooth pulled. But there's different pillars of this nonprofit, but it is completely separate.
Right.
And it all embodies, though, the vision of the Circle of Life of really just serving the community.
And that's beautiful. And it definitely works together. And I just wanted to make that very clear, because I've had people ask me, why do I want to donate to a hospice? I'm
Right.
like, no.
Yeah.
Hold on. You're not donating to the hospice. You're donating to the Hospice Foundation, which are they work together. They do a lot of things together, but it is not one entity. It is
Correct.
two separate entities.
Yeah.
You are supporting a nonprofit who's making a difference in the community.
Absolutely. And every dollar matters. That's kind of a campaign Michelle's been launching, is every dollar matters. And it literally does. And if you can't donate dollars or time, please share this podcast.
Yep.
Please, like our social media. We have Facebook for the Circle Life Hospice Foundation. Follow us. And there's a lot of exciting things happening. So
$1 matters?
every dollar matters.
What about $2?
Yep.
$3?
Yep.
50 cents?
Yep.
Still matters?
All matters.
Okay, I guess it matters.
Yep.
Hey guys, if you want to learn more about Good Shepherd's Clothes Closet, please visit getclothes.org. We give away clothes free to those in need. Every single month last year, we gave away $1.4 million worth of clothing at their store prices for free to people in need in our community. We're expanding like crazy. If you want to learn more about that, please go to getclothes.org or reach out to us. You can reach out to me at info@gsccreno.org. We help over 800 people a month. No matter what, we're asking you to come alongside and help one. Hey guys, thank you so much for listening.
Take care.
We'll see you next week.